So the main leader who emerges to support these slaves is a guy of complete African origin who takes on the name Toussaint L'Ouverture. He trained slaves into a disciplined army that give French troops who come to put down the slave revolt a run for their money. And again, we got to think about this broader context. France is at war with everyone. So if you are somebody like Spain who is fighting France, and there's a slave revolt in one of France's colonies that is its economic backbone, it might be really smart for you to try and help those slaves out. So Spain ends up supporting this revolt to such an extent that L'Ouverture ends up allying with the Spanish because of their promise to free slaves if France gets kicked out of the colony. In 1793, the British also declare war. The British, who are also already at war with France, decide to invade Saint-Dominique. So already at war, but they decide to invade. Now put yourself in the shoes of the National Assembly. You've got Spain in Saint-Dominique fighting you. You've got Britain fixing to invade. And you've got in the neighborhood of 500,000 slaves fighting on territory that they know pretty well because they've worked those plantations. What do? Well, you free the slaves. So in February of 1794, the National Assembly in Paris ratifies freedom for all men in Saint-Dominique. L'Ouverture switches sides back to France. He helps them defeat the Spanish and the British. So the result of this slave revolt is freedom and citizenship for every slave in the French Caribbean. This is dramatic. Story doesn't end there, though. France is still at war with Spain and England, and between 1794 and 1802, L'Ouverture, in charge, really steers Haiti, not Haiti yet, Saint-Dominique, closer and closer towards independence. One of the documents we have for this week is his constitution and his ideas about how Haiti itself should be governed. Even though slavery is gone, though, plantations aren't. Europeans have a huge need or desire for sugar, not quite as much coffee, but still a lot coffee. And L'Ouverture sees that as necessary for them to stay on top. He actually encourages the continuation of plantations, now for things more like minimum wage rather than slavery. That makes him unpopular while his constitutional ideas keep him somewhat popular. And let's play this out a little bit more on the next slide. We've got two more. Stick with me.